Are you surprised by how many people got taken for this ride that Sam Bankman Fried created, whether it be the investors in this thing, whether it be lawmakers, regulators, you name it?
No, I'm not. No. When you have the greatest quarterback of all time and the supermodel wife doing a commercial, picking up the phone saying, "Are you in? Are you in? Are you in?" To me, it looks like a pump and dump scheme if you watch that commercial, and I watched it again today. People get very influenced by people like Tom and his wife and others, or his ex-wife. So, no, I'm not surprised. And I'm not surprised by the baggy shorts and the big T-shirt, because it's a gimmick. And most people that wear a gimmick are also selling a gimmick.
Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And that was Terry Duffy, the CME chairman and CEO, who tried to warn everybody in a hearing with Congress back in May that FTX is just bad news. Nobody listened. We're going to listen to a 2-minute clip that I prepared for you from that hearing so you can hear for yourself the warning he gave, along with Ripple's VP on the Bank of Thailand panel with Google talking about, well, of course, XRP, big time, actually, and shocking update on SBF. That would be Sam Bankman Fried. There are some big developments. Yeah, I can't even believe what's happening. And for XDC, well, if you're an XDC holder, they are really pushing in the right direction. And how much is estimated the Celsius users are going to get back? And Ripple stock, there's a very interesting evaluation that was done, and more. Come on, everybody, let's go. The CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, a global derivatives marketplace based in Chicago, founded in 1898. Let's hear what the chairman and CEO had to say about Sam Bankman Fried's model back in May.
And dynamically setting margin levels and auto liquidation and transparent models. I mean, it's actually really cool idea. So I really commend you on it. And I really want to understand it more, and I am completely agnostic about it. What if you get your models wrong?
So,
because if you get your models wrong, it's all wrong.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. So there are a number of things. We've gone through an extensive process with the CFTC on this, on the details of the model, on the back testing of it, both the historical data with simulated data under all of the necessary standards. In addition to that, we have been running a model that this would be more conservative than internationally for the last 3 years. It has gone through days with 40% moves in markets in a single day. We just went through a 40% move over a few days. It has been functioning well in that environment, handling tens of billions of dollars of daily volume. We've never had to mutualize losses. We've never gotten close to that point. The entire insurance fund draw over the history is a tiny fraction of what we're proposing for our own skin in the game.
And on that proposal of auto liquidation, so one of the things that FTX does not tell you, or this committee, is what they do for collateral. When I take on collateral, whatever form it may be, cash, treasuries, gold, whatever I have a mix of, we have to haircut that at a certain value. Their haircut on their collateral for Bitcoin is 5%. Their margin to trade Bitcoin is 15% of margin. This auto liquidator will be going with smoke coming out of it at those price levels. That is the problem with this application, and you need to hear the whole truth about this.
The gentleman's time has expired. Thank you.
So Duffy's time might have expired at that moment in the hearing when nobody would listen to him, but this man has been awarded a public soapbox, and I think it doesn't have any timer. The congressman, by the way, that thought that the FTX model was so cool was the chair of the Democratic Campaign Committee. And did you hear Sam tell you the CFTC has done extensive testing? Come on, people. As the regulator over commodities in the US, the CFTC, it is just unbelievable. Now let's move to the shocking. The New York Times event, an in-person event called the DealBook Summit on November 30th in New York City, you're going to have the mayor, Larry Fink of BlackRock, the Amazon president, the U.S. Department of Treasury, Yellen, even Zelensky and Zuckerberg will be some of the speakers with Sam Bankman Fried. The outrage on crypto Twitter is just getting louder. Attorney John Deaton said in response to SBF's tweet that he was going to be speaking, he said, "Let me make this clear. If SBF isn't arrested and charged with fraud, wire fraud, theft, and possibly money laundering before and instead gets to spew out his bull narrative, our system of justice has been compromised. Elizabeth Warren, you claim to be for the little guy. Where are you now?" The beef between Kevin O'Leary and Ben Armstrong hasn't slowed down. And John Deaton also wanted to let O'Leary know that the facts are SBF FTX is a criminal. He stole customer funds and used those funds for real estate in his parents' name, political donations, equity acquisitions, trading, etc. He wrecked lives, and after O'Leary became aware of it, he went on to call him a genius and said he would back him again. I'm getting to the point where I am just speechless, thinking that every day I've seen the worst of it. And every day I wake up and I find I'm wrong. Speaking of Ben, which is Ben Armstrong, also known as BitBoy Crypto, he's got a new book out, Catching Up to Crypto. It's your guide to Bitcoin and the new digital economy. Yeah, I'm curious, so I think I'm going to give it a try. Okay, moving right along. I think many of you have either purchased a pre-IPO share of Ripple or thinking about it or just curious about the pricing, because the pricing has been fluctuating up and down depending on the week, depending on who's offering. This is an express deal that came out of Equity Zen, $21.99. With the 5% sales fee, it breaks down to $23.09 per share. The investment size is rather large, $66,000. So if you are just following it for whatever reason, I also want to point you then to an article that was written. It's in the Genfinity Lighthouse, and it is the same publication that I contribute to, but it's very interesting. Let's take a look. The article, which has a companion video, is titled Ripple, the Big One. And from the valuation point of view, which is coming from Eduardo Zagueta, he says that Ripple is trading at a deep discount. I'll put a link to the Lighthouse and you can have a peek for yourself.
You take the numbers. The last time I was looking at the numbers, it looked like somewhere between 40, low 40s looked like a decent peg on a recovery number. And that's just being honest.
That was Thomas Brazel, and he specializes in distressed assets. And as you heard, it's his guess for what the Celsius holders may receive back. Low 40 cents for every dollar. Okay, let's jump to the Bank of Thailand's panel, where Brent Entwistle, who is in Singapore, is on a panel, just he and a Google Cloud representative. But what is so funny is watch the reaction of the Google guy when he hears how many markets ODL, the on-demand liquidity that uses the digital asset XRP as a bridge, is in. It's quite funny.
Very early on, we knew that crypto and digital assets were going to play a big part of this, and we developed a product called on-demand liquidity, which is the ability to move this value across the blockchain seamlessly from one sending destination to a receiving destination in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, in the early days, very few people were willing to buy into that because, again, they thought crypto was a bad word. Blockchain was something that wasn't, whose time had not come yet. But we actually persevered, and we found a lot of very innovative fintech companies and PSPs around the world that were willing to participate with us. And then banks came around as well. And so today, our on-demand liquidity product, the ability to send across the network in crypto using XRP, is now able to pay out in some 25 plus countries, which, by the way, is up from 3 just a year ago. And that really shows the absolute acceleration and adaptation that we have seen of this product over the last year or so.
The way he looked up and was caught by surprise is just priceless. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. Did you happen to see last night's game? This was Japan versus Germany in the World Cup soccer. It was so fun for me to watch, of course, because Japan won, and it was a surprising win at that. And when I woke up this morning, I saw the Twitter was full of these TikTok videos where the people of Qatar were so surprised that the Japanese people who came as a fan stayed behind to clean the stadium. Well, yeah, that's just what they do. Here's one that's very touching, especially at the end.
يقنعني هاي شيء سمعت عنه بس ما توقعت انه هو واقعي بهالطريقه. واو وقتي كله شالوا الاعلام من الارض حطوهم اغلبهم على الكراسي وخذوه بالاحترام.
All right, everybody, I'm going to let John McBee from the XDC network take you out. I spent about 30 minutes with him. We had some great conversation, and this is just a 2-minute clip. I'm going to bring you more as the week progresses. It was really enjoyable, very insightful, and I tell you, they are really moving in the right direction. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
I'm super curious to see how the next 10 years play out, because with real industry adoption, it's hard to imagine industry players building their dApps on networks that they don't have any control over. So I really wonder, there's kind of 2 options. One is open source, decentralized. Is that valued more than closed, centralized, complete control? Like, is the future of blockchain, every company has its own private subnet that they operate and they have complete control over who comes and plays there? Or is it a completely open future? I really hope it's completely open, because that's in the best interest of everybody, you and I. The closed approach it worries me, because that's like the internet that we have today, where any country can close out access, they can throttle your access to information, slow it down, make it impossible to access. That doesn't add the value that it could have added. And I hope the blockchain doesn't go that way. Right now, it's very much in our hands, because we're here to dictate how things go. So it's important for us to have these conversations and talk about it, I think.
I think decentralization wins out.
I hope so. That's why I'm here.
All right, John, onwards.